I found that we focus so much on the external, you know what I mean? But it's an inner game. And in my experience, business is spiritual. It's the invisible work back. It's not about managing your time, it's managing your energy.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the Accountability on Demand podcast. It's your host, LaShana West, and we're here with the Healing While Building series, and I have a special guest. Introduce yourself for the people.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Chris Montgomery. I also go by Monty. Georgia boy, born and raised from Noonan, Georgia. Been in Atlanta since 2006. I'm a photographer, videographer, and filmmaker. I forget about that part.
You sure do. I ain't heard you say that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just tell people's story. I enhance people's endeavors just by providing the best images to my capability, whether there's pictures or video.
Superb ones at that, okay? He's one of the dopest in the game. And what I love about what Chris does, his energy literally makes everything. Because you could be with like a dope professional if you may, but the energy's off, it doesn't matter. And I feel like you bring that energy and that experience every single time, which I think takes a lot out of a person when they are always serving. Because not only are you serving behind the camera, behind the whatever, you're serving with your energy. So we're on the Healing While Building series. Tell me more about how like your energy and mental health and spirituality has played a part into what you do.
Everything. It's energy is everything.
Yeah.
It's all about energy. And when you said that, I feel like that's one of the things that distinguishes me as a photographer is
it does.
I want to tap into people's authenticity. And I feel like I show up as myself.
Yeah.
I can only be me. I can't try to be. I
can only be me. That's right. No, seriously.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that makes people comfortable.
Yep.
To be themselves. And when I take a photo of someone, I want whoever knows that person to look at that person and say, that's such and such. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
But yeah, energy is everything. Vibration. Thoughts and feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, I found out, because I went full time in 2020. It's going on 3 years. My 3-year anniversary actually is this month on the 24th.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you went a year before me, because my 2-year anniversary just
okay
this month.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So I found that we focus so much on the external. You know what I mean? But it's an inner game.
It's an inner game.
It's an inner game.
That's a t-shirt right there. It's an inner game.
It's an inner game, yo. And in my experience, business is spiritual.
Tell me more about that.
It's the invisible work. I mean, everybody can do the marketing, the all that stuff. But I mean, how are you managing your energy? What are your daily routines?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, stuff like that. I think to me that keeps me sustained because I came across this concept a while back. It's not about managing your time; it's managing your energy.
Okay.
Because you can have all the time in the world, but if you don't have enough energy to do anything.
Very much so.
You know what I mean?
Very much so.
So that's what I focus on daily. I'm always in tune with like my energy and how I'm feeling. And it's different ways to keep your energy at a high level. You know.
Do tell.
Oh man, I tell people if you don't do anything else, drink plenty of water, stretch, full body stretch. It don't have to be anything too intensive. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Water, stretch, and do some deep breathing.
Deep breathing, okay.
10 deep breaths twice a day.
You do that every single day?
Every day.
Water, move your body, and it don't have to be intensive, but at minimum stretch, and breathe. Where did you learn those 3 keys from?
Well, throughout my life, I kind of always have been somewhat health conscious.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not like a health nut or anything, but just mindful about just taking care of myself. And so I've always been like drinking water. So that goes kind of back to like middle school. I think that's how I hit my growth spurt actually.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Drinking water?
Yeah, summer 8th grade going into 9th grade, I drunk like just straight water. Now I'm sure I was going to hit my growth because my dad was tall too. He's tall.
Yeah. Okay.
My uncle's tall. Everybody, all the men in my family tall. So I wanted to grow.
Yeah.
And I drank a lot of water. I thought that kind of helped a little bit.
I'm gonna have to go to the old fine Google. Does water help you hit your growth spurt?
It can't hurt.
Right. I love that. So let me ask you this, because you said business is spiritual.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about what happens when we don't do the invisible work, when we don't do the inner work. I call it bleeding while leading. How does that make us bleed while we lead?
What's the bleeding part?
Bleeding while leading is literally when you are serving, pouring, and inside you're dying. Inside you're crying. Inside you cannot breathe, but you show up, everything's peachy keen, and once you turn that camera off, once you lock that door, once you get in the house, you're depleted. But you're continuing to lead, no matter your role. You don't got to be a CEO, a leader. You can literally be a photographer, be a any role in business. Like, we're still leaders, no matter if you feel like, well, I don't got a team. You still a leader. You're leading yourself. You're leading others. You're leading your clients, right? So I call it bleeding while leading. Some people may say working under trauma. Some people may say, struggling inside. Basically, it's wearing a mask. Okay, to boil it down. I done put a little word on it, but wearing a mask, like everything's peachy keen and great, and honestly, you're suffering inside, suffering in silence. Does that help you?
Yeah. That paints a picture. Cool. So, what was the question?
What happens when we are suffering in silence but still serving? How is that detrimental to self and business?
Oh man, you can burn out. That's a definition of burnout. I burnt myself out twice before.
Okay.
Because it goes back to what I said earlier, focusing on the external, doing the work, serving people, which we have to do.
Yes.
But also, you got to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's taking that time to serve yourself. You know what I mean? Knowing when you need to rest, listening to your body, knowing when you need to sleep. You know what I mean?
And rest shouldn't be a reward.
Oh no, rest.
It's a requirement.
It's a requirement,
right? Yeah,
it's a requirement. So yeah, that's what that is. A lot of people go through that, unfortunately.
Burnout.
Yeah.
Okay.
And part of it too, when you said the mask, I think it's also not being true to yourself.
Let's talk about it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, most people are wearing a mask. What I mean by that? Maybe whitewash. Maybe you talk Ebonics, but when we on camera, hey guys, what's up? It's LaShana. Like, all of this changed and soon, bop, bop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or you have a resiliency story. I don't call it a trauma story. Maybe grew up in a dysfunctional household. Maybe struggle with trauma, etc. And instead of embracing it and sharing it, you're shameful of it. That's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Right? And one thing that I realized, if you think about all the people who out here, quote unquote, winning, Grant Cardone's, Eric Thomas, Gary V's, B. Simone, I'm just naming off people who literally are radically themselves. They literally are themselves. If they curse, they curse.
Yeah.
If they wearing a half top, that's what they wear. If you know what I'm saying? Like, not being shameful of who we really are, and that authenticity is key. I know when I first started, I was more like, quote unquote, polished. I didn't really use any Ebonics. Now, I'm not saying it's just like knuck if you buck, but I'm letting my guards down more and like didn't curse at all on my platform. Now I might slide in a little something here and there.
Yeah.
But that's what I do in real life. So why do you think people turn it on and turn it off and present themselves one way when really that's not who they really are?
Great question.
Yeah.
I think it goes down to, like, even the term "be yourself," right?
Yeah.
That's kind of easier said than done.
Very much so.
Because there's a prerequisite to being yourself.
Woo! That boy dropping bars. I'm about to rewatch this. What's the prerequisite to being yourself?
Knowing who you are.
What if you don't know who you are?
Well, you got some work to do. You can find out.
Okay. How do you find out?
I call it self-inventory.
Okay.
So it's all about self-acceptance. So imagine this table we got right here, right? Mm-hmm. You take everything about yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between. You dump it all out on the table, and you got to rock with all of it.
Whew.
I know it's like, okay, I got some work to do over here. I need to change this over here. But nah, accept all of it. And show up to the world as that. This is me. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty challenging.
And you got to be willing to stand on that. Even if it's you against the world, you got to be, this is me, this is what I believe. I'm not going to compromise myself.
I think if more of us could do that, the world would be happier, healthier, and healing more. Because you can't heal or be on your healing journey if you're not honest with what's on the table and what's in your bag.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to heal with this, I'm going to heal that, but I'm not going to heal that. I'm not going to work on that. Guess what? That's where the bleeding while leading comes in. It starts to spill over reactively instead of proactively when you're in crisis. Let me explain.
Okay.
So if there's some unresolved trauma, if there's some junk in my trunk that I have not been addressing, when I am triggered, I can't control it. Like, it may come off indirectly, directly, verbally, non-verbally, emotionally. It's going to come out because I haven't done that work. And if I trigger it, it's an immediate response, right? For example, no parent wakes up and says, I'm going to abuse little Tommy. But if they are stressed, if they're under a lot of pressure and they get triggered, random impulsive things happen.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now, that might be a weird example, but you're only triggered if you haven't addressed the issue that is exposed and that's opened. If I've worked on it and someone says something that impacts me, but I've worked on it, I'm not triggered by it. And if I am triggered by it, catch this, I know how to cope, deal, and feel with it so I don't respond impulsively. Right? That's the mental health stuff in me, y'all. But in short, I would love for us to just proactively acknowledge and start doing our work. Like, I started doing more inner work after entrepreneurship. I had it compartmentalized in little boxes, and it's still a whole lot more to do, right? But it was so funny because my podcast guest that was here before was talking about how you're forced to do your inner work in entrepreneurship. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, how so?
If you don't, because it's going to test you.
Yo, yes.
Man, when I dove into the deep waters of entrepreneurship, I didn't know how to swim, but I learned. I wasn't going to drown.
Right.
So it really forces you to look at yourself in the mirror like, whoa, how am I going to make this work? You know what I mean? That voice in there is going to be some doubt that creep in.
Oh, yes.
Dealing with doubt. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's either I think it gets to a point where you have to make a decision. It's like, okay, this is challenging, but am I going to stick with it, or am I going to go back to what I was doing?
Very much so.
So if you choose to stick with it, you're going to have to do that inner work. I think you're going to be called to do it. You know, just instinctively.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good. And when you say stick with it, so is the opposite of not sticking with it throwing in a towel on the business?
Yeah.
If you left corporate, you just say, screw the business, let me go back to corporate? Or can you still pursue the business, still be in corporate? You know what I mean?
Oh, you still can. But at the same time, you still have to make a decision. You know, because you can only, in my experience, you can only be so effective doing kind of like multiple things.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? You got to pick one thing. Because even before I did photography, I did real estate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I sold one house. Yeah. I was in it for like a strong year.
Congratulations. Wait,
Appreciate
you sold
it.
one house in 1 year?
Yeah. Okay. But I wasn't as active in it because I was working a 9 to 5, doing real estate, and doing photography. Yeah. So I had to pick.
You had to choose.
I chose. It was more activity on the photography side, so I chose photography.
But you still got a real estate license, right?
It lapsed.
Got you.
But I could still.
But but it's still there in regards to something you invested in that you have. However, you had to make a decision on which one you was going to lean all the way in on.
Exactly.
Because if you would have leaned all the way in on real estate, you'd be a booming real estate agent. Yeah. What made you, you said photography because you have more action over there, right?
Not even that, but real estate is every crab has its own type of grind. With real estate, I mean, you gotta, you beating the pavement, you going out showing houses, you driving around in all kind of weather.
Don't you do that now? In photography?
Not really, but it's not really. Kind of.
You get... Okay, I feel like it's still you.
I mean, I still be on go.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is real estate is like, it's so much you got to know. It's so many like rules and regulations. You got to know what you can say, what you can't say. But the biggest thing for me really, I only got my license initially because I wanted to be my own agent when I decided to buy a house.
Got you. Did you buy?
Not yet. Close.
Not yet. Okay.
But
I don't blame you.
Then somebody told me, you can make some money with this. I was okay. Let me do this. But I'm gonna still use it a little bit. I think maybe even as like a referral agent. But the biggest thing for me was my heart was more in photography than real estate. Real estate was like, okay, that was kind of like money.
Yeah.
But photography it is great money, and also it's a passion. Like I love it.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. So you mentioned the word passion. Let me ask you this. Is it possible to profit from your passion?
Oh, absolutely. If you think it is.
You have to believe that it is.
You got to believe that it is. Because I feel like it goes back to energy. When you love to do something, you're going to give all your effort into it. Think about people who you might have had a job that you didn't necessarily care for. Are you going to go above and beyond at that job?
No. No.
But if you really care for something and your heart is in it, you're going to go the extra mile.
Right. Even on the days when it's hard, even when you're not in your best mind frame, if you're passionate about it. For example, I feel like because I'm passionate about coaching, even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel good, even when things are hard, that's one thing that sparks me back up. I get motivated once I'm serving and coaching. I feel like what I do coaching, I get to double dip.
Okay, how so?
Because as I'm helping to transform somebody's mindset in life, there's incidental learning opportunities and teachings and transferable breakthroughs that I get to just by me communicating. And a lot of time, what I'm saying, I need. So I'm coaching myself too.
That's the feedback loop.
Yeah.
When you teach, you learn. Yeah.
For sure.
That's real.
I love it. So tell everybody, what do you have on the horizon coming up for you that they can tap in with? Where can they follow you? Things of that nature.
I'm just out here in the city. So my core services, I work events, headshot photography, and I do videography as well. I do some portrait sessions such as maternity, graduation, and birthday shoots.
Okay, niching down. Where do I fall with my coaching and my shots? What's up?
Yeah, I don't do everything anymore.
Except for LaShana.
My first couple, I was doing everything, yo.
I love it.
But you gotta focus and narrow down. Yes. And I work with I do a lot of like branding shoots for entrepreneurs.
Okay, that's where I fit in.
Yeah, small businesses definitely help us out. But yeah, on the horizon, I'm just doing more conferences, be out in the city a lot more, just going to events, working events.
And when he says city, y'all, for those that's tuning in all over the world, ATL.
Yeah, ATL is home, but I've been traveling more as well. I did Miami late last year.
Nice.
Did Puerto Rico January.
So proud of you.
I was in Tennessee in January as well. Mexico March.
What? How does it feel to get paid to travel and operate in your passion?
It's great because I haven't hit my travel bug yet, but I love to travel if I'm getting paid to do it. Because my only thing about traveling is the whole TSA process, yo. I hate that process.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get like a TSA pre-check.
You got it?
Nah, I'm gonna look into it.
I don't got it yet. They be trying to get me with that clear. And it's funny because my Amex gives it to you, but I just haven't done what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't want to show my eyeballs.
Oh,
I need my
do
eyes.
the thing.
Yeah, I need my eyes. I don't know what they're going to do with my eyes.
Awesome.
But yeah. So yeah, I'll be out here in Atlanta. You can follow me Instagram at Montiangelo, MONTYANGELO, Montiangelo.com. YouTube channel is coming back. Podcast is coming back. I'm gonna bring you on mine as well.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Montiangelo on YouTube as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And all of his information will be in the description. I want to thank you for coming on today. Lots of noteworthy takeaways. My biggest takeaway, and I want you to think about yours. My biggest takeaway, the thing that you said, was the invisible work, the work that nobody sees, and most people call it inner work. But that invisible thing is so important because even we're sitting right here, but we know nothing about what we're truly going through. But one thing that we can see on the outside is that we're here, we're showing up, we're fully present. But a lot of times, guys, people are going through so much, and we have to be cognizant of just really being fully present and seeing people, because I think a lot of times in the hustle and bustle, it's just like quick, hit and miss. What if you were fully present? You literally gave eye contact and wasn't multitasking on the Apple Watch and the phone and ripping and running. I just think that interaction will be so much more powerful.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
What was your biggest takeaway?
The concept, you said bleeding. Was it bleeding while leading?
Yeah.
I had never heard of that before. But it's rampant, yo. I mean, I just talked to so many entrepreneurs. Everybody kind of, is just dealing with things, how they deal with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of like self-suffering almost. You know what I'm saying? Wearing the mask.
Yeah.
To me, I think one of our greatest quests is finding out who you are. And I believe once we hit that point and we show up to the world as that, everything else falls into place.
I totally agree. Yeah, so good. So I cannot wait to be on your podcast. What's your podcast called?
The Zoned In Podcast, approaching life and business from a spiritual aspect.
Ooh-wee! I'm with it. Can't wait. So listen, guys, stay tapped in. If anything resonated, make sure to drop it in the comments. Make sure to follow Chris on all things Montiangelo. Of course, you guys can follow me, LaShana West, on all things social. And remember to heal while you build. See you later.